And we are live. What's going on, YouTube Live? It's your boy, Billy Rowe. Today is Wednesday. I'd like to welcome you to the first row. If it is Wednesday, you should already know what that is. It's time for your Wednesday word. That's Wednesday word. Jumping straight into it. Tonight's topic is, what are you attracted to? So as with every topic that I do, I like to explain what my topic means to me. And so when I started thinking about the topic, what are you attracted to? It actually was brought about by everything that was like super going on in like the media with R. Kelly. And it led me to start thinking about sometimes in life, we're attracted to things that we shouldn't be attracted to. And we allow those things to kind of deter us off our path. And then as I started thinking more about it and started really creating the content, because I really don't like to create trendy content. That's why I've waited so long to even release this particular Wednesday word. But I don't like giving up trendy content. So because I don't like doing that, I started really thinking about it from away from the perspective of just being attracted to the wrong things, moving more so into how we are attracted to things and how that attraction kind of causes us to focus in on different things. So different things that we're trying to do. What's going on, brother Bruce? So I actually started changing it, started working on the concept, and really started shifting from just being attracted to the wrong things to more of the concept, if you're familiar with it, the law of attraction, and how things are not simply how we are attracted to things, but how things are attracted to us. So tonight I got 4 tools that I want to share with you on what are you attracted to. And this is a question that I want you to really pay attention to. What are you attracted to? So let's jump in, getting straight to it. The very first tool when it comes to what are you attracted to that came to mind that I really thought was important is really it's not about what you are attracted to, but rather what you attract. And so we see this a lot in the relationship world where people will ask themselves, why am I attracting this type of partner? Why am I attracted to the bad boys? Why am I attracted to the bad girls? We'll see this, and really it's not what you're attracted to. Because if you ask yourself logically, do I want somebody who's going to treat me with disrespect? Do I want somebody who is going to belittle me? Somebody who is not loyal? Do I want somebody who's going to cheat on me? Do I want somebody who is going to, misuse their time with me or misuse our finances? Do I want these things? Logically, I don't think a person is attracted to that. However, what you might find is it's really about what you're attracting to you. Why does a person who is manipulative, who misuses time, who is not financially responsible, why is that person attracted to you? What is it that you are presenting that makes them feel like they want to be around you? So we'll see this. We'll see, sometimes even outside of the relationship world where it's not, I'm attracted to dead-end jobs. I always, get this job and it leads to a dead end. And then I got to start all over and I get the next job and it leads to a dead end. But it's a matter of maybe the things that I did to set myself up for that job or to be marketable to that job are what makes that job come along. What makes a recruiter say, yeah, this is the resume I want. Somebody who has worked in this industry for this amount of time. And so it's that's what I mean. The first tool being, it's not about what you are attracted to, rather it is what you are attracting. And so once we get out of that concept and out of that mind space of, oh, I'm just attracted to that, or I always seem to be attracted to the bad boys, or I'm always attracted to those dead end jobs, or, I'm always attracted to, whatever it may be. You can insert anything you want to insert into it. Really, it's not what you're attracted to, because if you step back and become logical about it, that's not what you're attracted to. But however, that is something that you are attracting to you. And so that's the first tool. We're going to jump to the second tool. The second tool is start by asking yourself what. I told you what is going to be very important in this particular Wednesday word. And so the reason why I say start with asking yourself what is because a lot of us approach the perspective of self-reflection with the why. What is the why? What is the why? What is the why? And so we start thinking from the perspective of why. However, with attraction, it's important to ask, what am I doing to attract this situation to me. You can, whether it's a good situation or a bad situation, there is something that is within you that is attracting that situation to you. So when you start off with what instead of why, like again, going back to, why am I always attracted to the bad boys, or why are the bad boys always coming to me, or why do they talk to me, and why do I fall for it every time, or why do I fall for the bad girls every time? Start with what, or start with what. What is it within me? Because see, within me, I can kind of play with that internal environment and make adjustments and make changes and shifts to who I am. So that way that the person who might be attracted to who I am can now see, hey, you know what, that woman or that man doesn't look like they're about wasting their time. And I really know at the end of the day, I'm trying to waste their time. So they don't look like that's going to go over too well for me. So I'm going to let it be. So that's the first part. But after you ask yourself, with attraction, what am I doing with attraction? I think the next thing is then you ask yourself the why. Why do I attract it? So now what am I doing, and why does it attract this type of person, or these types of behaviors, or these type of situations? And so I started really thinking, going back to that R. Kelly concept, and thinking about, why would R. Kelly be attracted to underage girls? And so I started thinking, like, the why being like, is it maybe validation? Is it security? Hey, what's going on, Bob? Is it, just simply like sexual lust? Like, what is the why behind that? Because now there's the what. This is what I have inside of me. Now, what I have inside of me, why is it attracting this type of person or this type of behavior? And so when it comes to, like, let's say being in relationships and thinking about like the security level, if I'm attracting, we'll call the damsels in distress. If I'm attracting the damsels in distress, what is it inside of me that is attracting that? What thoughts do I have about relationships? What thoughts and insecurities do I have about, my own self as a provider or as a potential partner? And so now that I've addressed that, it's like, okay, so why do I need this security? Because if I need somebody who needs me, or somebody who's, like I said, that in that damsel in distress or in distress, then why do I need that? Because it makes me feel more superior, because it makes me feel like a hero. So if that's the case, the very next question that you should ask, this is a critical question. Please, if you have a pen, or if you're watching via the replay, you want to pause it and go and grab a pen, you might want to do that. But the very next pivotal question that you have to ask yourself is, how do I continue or stop this attraction? Period, point blank. Because if it's good for you, if you're attracting money, or if you're attracting the type of woman that you want to date, or the type of man that you want to date, or the partner that you want to have, then that's how do I continue to attract this? How do I continue to emit this type of frequency that people that I want to attract to me will pick up on and bring themselves to me? That's the third and final question in this tool is, how do I continue, or how do I stop? And in all honesty, I think what happened in the R. Kelly situation was, he probably never asked himself, how do I stop this? Sometimes we just get so accustomed to going with the flow, or we're just like, well, I'm this way because we've only asked the why, but we haven't asked the what. And so I think that this kind of brings that tool together. It's really a 3-step process. Start by asking yourself what. Once you ask yourself what, then transition to the why. And then after you understand the why, if you can identify whether that's a positive or negative for yourself, then ask yourself, how do you continue, or how do you stop? How do you proceed, or how do you stop? So that's tool number 2. Start by asking yourself what. Tool number 3 that I came up with is our attractions promote our activities. And so what I mean by this is, what we are attracted to, or what we're attracting, it can heavily guide what decisions we're making in our life. So I use this a lot because of the background that I come from, or the environment that I came out of. With drugs, if we have drugs in our system and we're accustomed to living our lives with drugs, we're going to attract drug dealers. We're going to attract, suppliers. We're going to attract people who use the same drug. What's going on, cousin Brian? We're going to attract things that work for that internal climate that we're building with the substance. However, the reason I say our attractions, what we're attracting, promotes our activities. Because then we put ourselves in situations like dark alleys. We put ourselves in situations like crack houses. We put ourselves in situations around risking potential. True, Brian, we attract the police. True, we do attract the police where we could potentially be arrested or incarcerated or killed. Like, you put yourself in these situations because of what we are, quote unquote, attracted to, or we are attracting into our lives. So it's important to realize that when you're attracting something to you, you're also attracting certain activities that you're going to take part in. I know that whenever I'm in like my old neighborhood, and sometimes I'll get out and I'll be walking to buy something. It's probably like, I don't think it's every time, but it's pretty frequent because I experience it quite a bit. Somebody's like, hey, do you want to buy some weed? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? I got what you need. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need any of that. So I don't know why you feel like I need that. And I always kind of go back to this reflection mode, like, what is it? Is it the beard? Like, when I don't shave, am I just scruffy and I look like I need to use a drug, or what is it? Like, I get out, I'm pretty clean, I think. So I don't stink, I don't smell bad, but I guess not all people who use drugs do. So they just make the assumption that I use drugs. But those activities, because I'm not a drug user, those activities are something that I'm like, hey, I'm not going to decide to start using drugs just because you want to sell your product to me. So the other thing that I'm learning about this attraction, like our attraction and our activities, I'm learning this through the first row as I continue to do week after week inner sessions, and constantly I'm booking my calendar like a month out just to like make sure that the following month is taken care of. I'm noticing that I'm attracting new intersation guests. I'm attracting new types of topics. I'm attracting new perspectives. Those are the things that are being attracted to me that are positive, that I want to keep attracting. Going back to step one, the what that I have inside that is being attracted, I want to continue to track that. But the attraction of the new intersation guests, and even attracting back the intersation guests who have been on the show before, that is a part of those decisions that I have made, or the attraction that is taking place, and it's helping to shape the decisions that I'm making. It's helping to shape, hey, I can make the decision to schedule a month out because my attractions, or what I am attracting to me, are people who are articulate, people who have a story, people who want to share that story, and people who just want to really promote growth. So that's what I've learned as far as our attractions promoting our activities. And then a subcategory to that is that at some point, our attractions kind of go on this autopilot kick. And the best way I can describe this is I actually have a game in my phone called Idle Miner. And I downloaded this game because every once in a while in my phone, I want to play a game when I'm just sitting and doing nothing and don't want to like expend brain power. So I've got this game called Idle Miner, and it's really simple. Like, the game is playing right now. I haven't opened it. I don't even remember the last time I opened it, but it's playing itself right now. When I go back into the game, I get to collect all the little coins and all the little goodies, and then I can play for a little bit, and then I get out of the game and I don't play it again for like probably like a month. But in this Idle Miner, it like starts you off with your little basic mine, and you have to like tap this button. You tap a button, you tell the person to mine the ore, they put the ore in the thing, you tap a button, the little elevator comes down, takes it up, you tap a button, and this guy comes over, takes it, and puts it in your little bank thing, right? And just like our attractions, I feel like in the beginning, we might have to be that guy who's tapping that button to make these moves take place. But there comes a point where in the game, you can hire a manager. So instead of me tapping the button to tell the guy to go and mine the ore, I just put a manager there. And every time he comes back, he bounces off that manager and goes back and mines ore without me tapping a button. And the same thing goes for the elevator, and the same thing goes for the guy collecting the money at the top. And I feel like at some point, our attractions start taking on that idle miner mentality, where we start assigning managers to our attractions, and we stop worrying about the inner environment. And if it's a good thing that you're attracting, then great. Now you're exerting less effort to intentionally attract these things, because you understand how to resonate or how to put yourself on the proper frequency to attract those things. But if it's a negative thing and you put a manager in position, then now you're just attracting like, man, how come always this drama is coming to me? How come I'm always the fall guy? How come I'm always caught up in, in the crazy madness in the world? Like, how come I'm always caught up in that stuff? It's because you probably have placed in some point of your internal climate a manager who is constantly sending that person back to mind those things that are going to attract those negative behaviors and or situations to your life. So I know that was a really long tool, but that was tool number 3. I got one more tool for you. Tool number 4, when it comes to what are you attracted to? This one is dangerous, but it basically, the 4th and the final tool is, when it comes to what you're attracted to, is beware of the glimmer effect. And that's really just distractions. I use the freeway quite a bit, and a lot of people are familiar with the freeway. And I always notice when I'm not focused on the road, because you start to veer, or maybe you'll hit those little wake up ridges on the side of the road. Oh, well, I'm veering. Or if you're looking at something, but you're trying to drive straight, your natural tendency is to start pulling towards what you're looking at. So beware of that glimmer effect, because something that pulls your attention, eventually you will gravitate towards it. So like if we're in a completely dark room and there's a light over on one side of the room, I'm more than likely going to gravitate to the light. I'm not going to try to gravitate to the dark. Well, I don't know what's over there in that light. There's light over there. I can see something in all this darkness, so I'm going to go to what I can see. The other thing is that the reason I say beware of the glimmer effect is because of the need to keep yourself safe. So like in the sense of trying to make fast money, there's different ways to make money legally. There's different ways to make money illegally. However, when you allow yourself to get distracted from the legal methods of making money that don't cause you to lose the type of sleep you lose over the illegal methods, when you cause yourself to get distracted, it's like, ooh, but they got the new Maserati, or they got the new house, or they got the new this, and they got the new that, and you get distracted. All of a sudden, you start gravitating towards that. You start gravitating towards that. And as you gravitate towards it, all of a sudden you start attracting that into your life. Like, well, Billy wants to make this fast money. I'm going to put him up on the game and teach him how to, do what he needs to do to get this coin. Well, unfortunately, when that coin runs out, and or when the gig is up, and you attract, like Brian said, you attract the police. Everything that you attracted, that you were able to get with what you were attracting, is eventually going to be gone. They're going to either take it, or while you're locked up, somebody's going to do you a solid and pay or spend all your money. So that was the other thing. And the last thing about the being aware of the glimmer effect is, I think of it also in the terms of fishing. So if you've ever been a fisherman, you can understand how you can cast a hook with a worm, with chicken, with a piece of plastic that looks like a worm. You can cast it into the water and leave it there. And while it sits there lifelessly, typically fish won't bite at it. They won't even mess with it. A fish can swim right past it, maybe accidentally bump it, but keep moving. However, if you just do what they call a little jig on that pole and bring it to life, it's enough action to get the attention of the fish to attract it to you. So the fish may not even have been hungry. If the fish may not even been thinking about a worm, but because they see that movement, they're now engaged and they come to where that hook is. And then eventually they're caught if you're a good fisherman. If you're not, then they just get a sore lip and they keep pushing. But that is the downside for us as humans when it comes to the glimmer effect. Sometimes you'll have that little distraction that grabs your attention and you start moving towards it. And then all of a sudden now you're putting yourself in danger. Or sometimes you will be the person who causes like, well, I'm just going to do this illegal activity one time just to say I've done it, or just to say I've experimented, or just to say whatever. And now you got sharks that you have attracted to you to try to keep you in that environment. So those are the 4 tools that I came up with when it comes to what are you attracted to. The first one being, it's not about what you're attracted to, but what you attract. The second one is, start by asking yourself what, not why. Why is the second question, and then how to continue or stop is the third question within that. And then the third one being, our attractions promote our activities. And then the fourth one being that beware of the glimmer effect, aka distractions. So as with every conversation that I do, I like to share a personal story that kind of got me thinking more about the topic. And obviously I didn't want to share I can't share a personal story about R. Kelly because I don't really know everything in that situation. But I have a personal story that I do want to share in regards to what we attract. And I'm going to change the title, not what are you attracted to, but what are you attracting to yourself? And so I started thinking about this experience that I had when I was back in California recently. And I had decided to go and play some pool with a couple of friends. And we were waiting in line at the pool hall to go. It's like upstairs. You go up one flight of stairs flat and then go up another one and you're at the top floor. And while I was waiting to play pool, I was sitting there just observing people watching, one of my favorite activities to do. And I was watching this young lady who was probably like 5 people ahead of me. And there's really no different way to say this. She was just really extra. And like a guy had walked up on the stairs by her to go and see if he could see the top of the line and go and talk to see if he could get like in past everybody. And while he's standing there trying to see who's at the top, she's like filling on him. And I'm like, that's interesting. I don't think that would go very well if it was a guy filling on some random girl who was standing in front of him. But hey, life is life. So then the line starts to move. And so we move up to the little flat area where she was at, and she had moved up to the top and was supposedly, I guess she had got in. And she decided she wanted to come back down the stairs and block everybody. And the reason she decided to do this was because she felt like she didn't like the way it felt to be inconvenienced to wait her turn to go into the pool hall. And so she came and she put her arm like against the wall. And of course, little old Billy, just trying to mind my business and enjoy my time, my trip. I'm the first person she runs into when she puts her arm up. And so at first I just, excuse me. And I try to, lift her arm and she puts her arm back out. And so then she starts to ask me questions like, oh, well, are you with the guy who's behind me who already got past me? I'm like, no, I'm here by myself. And she's like, oh, excuse me. Like, I'm not here to engage with you on this childishness. Excuse me. And she's like, oh, but are you with him? No, I just told you I'm here by myself. Excuse me. And I kept a stone cold face. Like, I'm not here to play this game with you. I'm not about to get mad about this blocking, this impromptu blockade. But I'm serious about going past you. And so what she did was she was like, well, you're a black king, so I'm going to let you go past me. I'm going to let you go past me. And then she let the person who was behind me come, and then she put her arm back up and started causing that scene again. But it got me thinking about, like, what are you attracted to, or what you're attracting to you in the sense of drama, and how people are like, oh, I want to live a drama-free life. I want to live a drama-free life. People are very in tune to frequencies and energies. I don't care what you believe in, what you don't believe in. We have this inherent instinct to be able to find out who are people we should play the I'm going to block you game with, and who are people we aren't. And so when you get really clear and really concise on your internal environment, and just really not being about the games that people want to play and the childish nature that people want to impose upon you, they immediately pick up on that. And so what you'll find is whereas sometimes things will come to you that you didn't attract to you, they'll come to you and they'll realize, oh, this person is an opposite, or I think it's opposites attract. Yeah, so it's a same magnet. Like, I'm not childish, but I'm going to be on the same frequency with you enough to repel you. And now you're making a conscious decision. Instead of coming and trying to attach your drama to me, you're going to make a conscious decision to say, yeah, this ain't the one. I'm going to go around and put my arm up and play this game with somebody else who's willing to play. Because I can see in his eyes that he's a very serious person, and this is not a game that he's out here to play tonight. So I think that was the story that I wanted to share with you. It really comes down to, if you're a knight, whether that's a female or a male knight, if you're a knight, you're going to probably attract damsels in distress and dragons. So better to put yourself in the sense of royalty and let your knights fight the battle for you than to try to be a knight out there saving Rapunzel and anybody else who needs to be saved, and then fighting all the dragons for everybody. So really, all in all, that's what you're attracted to is about. Making sure that your focus is on your internal climate so that you are attracting the right things to you, the things that you want to attract to you. You're putting yourself in a position to attract those things, whether that's a relationship, a job, even just an environment, a home, whatever it may be. put yourself in those positions internally so that you can attract those things externally. With that, that's pretty much all I got for tonight on the Wednesday Word. I hope you guys have enjoyed the content tonight. Thank you guys for rocking with me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified when we're live on the first row. Also, make sure you take a moment to like the video. Likes help us get our content up to higher levels on YouTube. And once it's on the main page, that gets more exposure and more growth out to the world, which is our goal here at First Row. So other than that, I thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, the next time that we'll be live, I almost forgot. The next time we'll be live on the First Row is Monday. It's time for another episode of Keeping It Real Estate. That's with Key Bryant, your man, Key Bryant. That will be on Monday, April 22nd. 2019 at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That show will be on how to purchase a home off the market. So if there's a home that's not listed, not on the market that you want to have because it's your dream home and you want it, you might want to tune into this show so you can get some tips and tools on how to make that happen and how to bring it about. But other than that, I thank you guys for tuning in with me tonight. I'm always happy that you guys rock with me on the first row. If you're watching live via the chat, if you're watching on the replay via the comments, but I'm happy that you guys have taken a moment to tune in. I look forward to seeing you guys next week on the first row. Until the next time, one love, peace, and God bless.